Welcome to the Epic Workout Hexagram edition. I'm Alex Iglesia, and this is the 46. The 46 hexagram, 46 gene key, or the 46 gate in human design. And even if you don't know what I'm talking about, but you're finding this because you're interested in non-traditional exercise that carries a lot more meaning and impact, then you're in the right place. So in a moment, I'm going to walk you through building the 46 hexagram, which is to say the themes, the shadows of seriousness, which I can take things way too seriously. In fact, I've done quite a few takes of this video because something's always quite not right. So we'll see how this one goes. After building into the shadow of seriousness, then it's delight, the gift of delight. And then the third and more expansive theme here is ecstasy. Now, what comes to mind when you think about ecstasy or you think about delight? Is it somebody sitting in a cave having a wonderful time, waking up just appreciating that they're even alive again? Is it somebody taking a bite of a really juicy, delicious, perfectly ripe mango? Is it two people or more making love? What is delight and ecstasy? What comes to mind? Now, I think you'll be delighted that when we build the hexagram from a line-by-line dimensional analysis, it offers a slightly different perspective, and one that is actually quite involutionary, quite inward going, inward focused. And it gives an experience of delight and ecstasy that might surprise you, might delight you. So I hope you are here to enjoy. What we'll do, we'll build a hexagram. We'll go through those movement patterns. I'll teach you a little bit about how to use them for superficial alignment as well as deeper work. Second, mobility. What specifically in the body could we mobilize to help ourselves be more aligned with this kind of an impact and difference we make in the world? Third, movement. How do we take it to the level of strength and conditioning, assuming you want to do that, or just better movement that's more integrated and especially today, more delightful. So it's very much an approach to movement today that you can carry into dance, into exercise, into CrossFit, into yoga. Like I shared with an executive client years ago, give me some time and I'll teach you how to move so you can go enjoy all the movement classes you want without the fear of breaking down. Is that too serious? I hope not. Okay, here we go. First, I'm going to show you how we build these movement patterns. So I'll be small on the screen for a moment, and then I'll shift back to a full screen in a bit. But let's talk about the hexagram, which is right here on the left. And because they're two different colors, you can note that they are built by two trigrams. The bottom trigram is known as wind in the I Ching, and the top trigram is known as earth in the I Ching. So already you can get a little bit of an idea, metaphorical idea of wind and earth combining. Wind and earth combining. We start with that. It's a really lovely meditation image. We're going to go into movement of it. The first line at the bottom here is yin. It's a broken line, so it's yin. Now, what we're going to do to embody that comes from UZAZU, which is a mind-body method that really looks at dimensionalizing our movement patterns as they relate to certain themes, and it's fantastic. We're going to use it right now to embody the trigrams. So the first line being yin, we're going to step back. First line yin is more self. So bring your attention more towards you. In contrast, it's less or away from the screen. It's away from the world. So if your attention goes towards self, you're letting the world go do its thing, so to speak. Second line, yang, we're going to go up. So we've stepped back, now we're going to go up. The up is more active, it's a bit muscular, you can create some tension in your body, that's good and fine. In contrast with the down, which would be just be softening, surrendering, sensing, listening. So we've got back and up. Third line, yang, we're going to go wide. So feet go wide, arms go wide. So literally we've built this trigram from back, up, wide. We don't have to think too much, and you can't really get this totally wrong as long as you look something like me, or you're just listening for the instructions, back, everything goes up, and everything goes wide. Now this position as a posture is known as gateway. in UZAZU. And gateway is essentially saying or inquiring into your self-esteem, right? It's about self, it's active, and there's width, there's perspective here. So we're taking a perspective on the active self, self-esteem. Now your self-esteem today might be crap, it could be great, and there could be all sorts of reasons for either one and anywhere in between. So right now, get a sense for, how's your self-esteem doing today? Palms are towards you, not away from you. That helps bring in the sense that you're reflecting on self. So that's the bottom trigram. This is sort of the foundation, or where is this hexagram? Where is it going is the top trigram. The top trigram is yin, yin, yin. So we're going to do yin in all three dimensions. First dimension is back again, so we go back. Second dimension is going to be down. Third dimension is going to be narrow. So we've gone back, down, narrow. Back, down, and narrow. Again, you can't do it wrong, but notice this basically brings you into a fetal-like position, or almost like a standing child pose. Your arms can be, your hands may be at your chest, they might be a little bit lower, they might even be as low as your pelvis. So anywhere in there is good and fine. When you draw all your attention inward, we have sponge. And in sponge, the essence here is, it's your direct experience of embodiment. We're as far away as we can get from the world. We're far away from the stories we would tell about who we are. We're far away from needing to engage with people. Sponge lets us practice pure sensation and direct experience of your embodiment. So what does it mean then if we're going from gateway, bottom trigram, to sponge, top trigram? I know for me, when I started to play with this, it seemed like the exact opposite of what my mind held as delight and ecstasy. Woohoo, delight, ecstasy. Almost like an orgy of goodness and luxury. And as you may already know and intuit, it's not that, right? What if you could just wake up delighted to be alive? What if you could be delighted simply by your own experience, much more and less influenced than the world? Obviously, the weather, the world, the politics, everything influences us. And yet, what if you practice going from self-esteem into the direct experience of your embodiment for the sake of integrating seriousness, delight, and ecstasy? So I'm going to switch to the large screen now. And let's walk through this as a practice. How's that sound? Here we go. So the first thing is we'll take the bottom trigram and the top trigram and just cycle through them about 3 times. Make sure you feel it mechanically, and then layer in the 3 themes. That's one of the fastest ways to get a ton of results, insights, and integrations out of doing these movements. Then we'll move into mobility. Finally, we'll finish up with some movement. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Let's start with gateway, back, up, and wide. Here we are. Second position, sponge, stepping back, down, and narrow. Allow your hands to go where they want to go, somewhere between heart and pelvis. Back to gateway, a little bit forward, and back to sponge. Dropping your head too. I know you're listening to me right now, so just listen, drop your head, let your spine round a bit. Everything's narrow. For years, when going to yoga classes, I'd hear, you know, just be here, let your worries go. There's nothing to do. It's like, and for me, like, well, how do I do that? How do I do that? And sponge is very much that. It's, I'm going to step away from everything for a moment and turn all the attention in. Step forward, back into gateway again, and then back, forward, but back again into sponge. Now, let's touch in on delight. So the only thing you need to do is move in a way that allows for delight. from gateway to sponge. And then sponge back to gateway. You might imagine you could spend many minutes, many minutes, taking your time, going from one to the other, or even spending that time in one or the other of the sides. Now, pay attention. This is such the invitation to pay attention to your direct experience. And I'm very curious of what to know what you're experiencing, but I want to share a little bit of what's going on for me. Maybe that'll support you. I'm feeling tension, and I'm thinking about the need to get it right. There's a lot of seriousness showing up for me. So the shadow here is seriousness. In human design, the 46 is in the G center, which means it has something to do with self and with direction. So we could say that delight has to do with the direction of yourself focused internally, from who you think you are into really feeling who you are and the delight of that. And in a certain way, with any practice, we have to take it seriously. Like, actually do this. Get the basics right. I love to just make shit up, but it's really nice to settle into a framework. In this case, your body is the framework, and discover what's there. So seriousness, let's do one together, and really calling forth all the seriousness. The seriousness, how serious do you take yourself? Your offers in the world, your value in the world, whether you're worth something or not worth something, or value the money that you make for your salary, or your, all that stuff. And bring it, allow it to move more and more into self. Release it and come forward into neutral. So neutral is just letting all that go. Shake your body out a little bit and let your awareness just be open. We're going to move to mobility, finish with movement, and we'll wrap up with one more cycle for ecstasy, having gone through this with in your body so much. So for the mobility, what do we need? What do we need to be able to do for this? One is in our shoulders. This gateway with our shoulders is one of the most challenging positions to really activate for a long period of time, to do an hour-long deep dive with. So shoulder mobility is a big one. Also, your shoulders might bring you into spinal extension. So can there be mobility without, actually at the shoulder, without forcing a spinal extension? So that's one piece of mobility. The second is the chain from your feet through your knees and your pelvis. And what's interesting here would be something along the lines of dropping into a narrow squat all the way. There's variations of that. You could also explore how to come up on your toes, again, dropping into basically a child pose of full hip, knee, and spinal flexion. So these are the two fundamental mobility patterns we're going to play with. The first one, shoulders, why not? They're fun. Hands, palms up. Take your hands wide, around, fingers point towards your head. You'll probably go right above your head, in front of your head, and out, almost like a swimming stroke, and then flip them over. Do it again. Out, around, wide, together. Out, around and on top and in front, wide, flip the wrists, elbows, finish together. So now this is a little bit tricky, so you got to take it seriously. If I may have lost you, then I'll do one more slow, but otherwise hit pause and practice it a bit. Once you've got the basic mechanics, find a way to relax so you have more and more movement at the shoulder, less in your spine. And see if it can start to spontaneously be delightful, which means you might need to make it even smaller or adjust it for yourself a little bit. Just don't lose the integrity, the intent of the basic move, which is to get your shoulder through all this range of motion. But by far, feel free to be a little bit creative. Let's switch one thing up now. Back to the beginning. Now the hands are going to go back, out, up and around your head, and like a karate chop, back in the middle, and then back, out, and around. On that one, my spine flexed a bit. So see if you can keep a relaxed shoulder girdle so that you don't have to pull so much from the rib cage. A little bit's fine. Don't take it too seriously. Okay. Last few, soften it up, find a little more delight in it. Good, and rest. Let it go. How your shoulders feel? Second movement is going to be to come from standing into a full body flexion. So I'm going to do this with my feet fairly narrow. You can widen them though for more stability. Start by bending at the knees, hips go back, belly can come to thighs until you're either folded flat down, head relaxed, or maybe you come all the way into a low squat. Arms forward for balance is helpful. Reverse it to come out. Let's go again. Bend down, everything drops, head to, and slowly come back up. Last one. Now that you've tried that, that was partly assessment and partly the work itself. If that was challenging for you, then I would suggest spending a little bit of time in a child pose. Now, child pose is going to take you all the way to the floor, knees down, and then head goes to the ground. Arms can be in front. They can also go back. By spending some time in child pose and breathing, what'll probably happen is you go through a stage of seriousness, like, well, this is serious, to more and more delight. If it gets more intense, take a step out of it. The last piece I want to do here is to let your head be the initiator of the flexion throughout your body. So this looks like head goes down, chin to chest, then upper body. Your hands slide down your legs. And you come into a forward bend with your knees bent. So it's not a intense hamstring stretch. You're still looking for that child pose, full fetal position flexion here. Full yin, lots of release. Chin, chest, torso, arms, and then knees and hips as much as they need. Keep your head relaxed. Press your feet down a bit, start rolling, and let the head be last. So again, you can take it seriously, take it slowly, and look for more and more enjoyment or delight as you go slowly more and more into self. That's our mobility. So let's do a quick review. We've got teacups. We call it teacups because you might be holding teacups, and imagine not dropping them all the way around. And we can go both directions. And then we've got squatting into full body flexion, or flexion into full body flexion. Mobility. Whenever you do mobility, one of the interesting pieces that comes out of that is you notice where you're not mobile. So be gentle with yourself as you go through there. Now for movement, I want to address this. We've been going from gateway to sponge. This is an involutionary movement. It's going from out here. I'm just about with you, and you know, hey, how are you doing? Oh, well, this is how I'm doing. We're here in this self-esteem border between self and other, but slightly more attending towards self. And then we're moving towards pure attention to self. So the quality of the workout here is not get it done and challenge yourself. The quality that we're actually practicing here is you never go past delight. Now, ecstasy may erupt, and you're gonna need to keep some focus, need some seriousness, but this is not a CrossFit workout, although you could bring this quality into CrossFit if you really wanted to. So a few movement patterns. First, stagger your feet, one foot in front and the other, not by much, by about a foot. And then we're going to shift from the first, from your weight in your front leg to the weight in the back leg, come into full flexion, and then come back up into gentle extension of the hip. Not a big back bend, but pretty vertical, arms straight up, either up or wide. But you're getting extension through the hip. So at this point, squeeze your right or your back glute if you can. One way to do that is press your heel into the ground. Another is just to actively squeeze that glute. So the movement pattern is from the front leg, shifting back, and then shifting up. Shifting back, and shifting up. So that's the basic movement pattern. This actually is very challenging for your balance. It's it's a split stance, so it's actually very helpful for running, and it's going to give you a little bit of some challenge for your running mechanics, your walking mechanics, taking that leg into hip extension. Flip sides if you haven't done it yet. Just about a foot distance between your 2 feet. Weight in your front foot, shift back, let yourself fold all the way down, come back up, pushing through the back leg into extension of the hip, and then arms up. It's like a super tiny warrior one with both feet pointing directly forward. Shift it back, hips, spine's gonna flex a bit, head 2, push down into the back leg, extend through the hip, arms up easily. One more, everything back, and everything forward. So that's the basic movement pattern. We're going all the way down, which we could say is to, in a receiving way, grab something from the ground. I used to teach that lunges were more about community because the function of a lunge is to reach and grab and get something. Whereas a squat, the function of a squat is a bit more agentic, more about, hey, here I am doing this thing. I can take up space. And so when we do our split stance with a lot of yin quality, we're playing with this these themes of here I am with a whole lot of I'm here for me. So what's the delight in being here and being here for you most essentially? So with that basic pattern, now take your legs wide. We're going to do the same pattern, but now the hips are in a different articulation, different range of motion, so it's going to have a different effect on your spinal extension, your hip mobility. Otherwise, though, movement is the same. Hips back, reach down to the ground, let everything fall, your head too, and come back up, reach, push through the heels, get the hip extension, arms straight up. So think of this as you're falling into it, you're directing and shaping the movement, and then you get to find your way back up. One more. Okay, last variation. So we've done narrow stance, a wide stance. Now you're going to go feet at 90 degrees. So 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, depending on if you are an early riser or you like to go to bed late. But otherwise, the movement pattern is very similar. We're going to go down towards one leg and spiral up towards the other. In this case, I'm going down to my right. So my right hip goes back, and I fall forward into the right leg. Push through that leg, get some extension, not too, don't push too hard, and then arms up, rotating to the left. So spiraling down, spiraling up. Now, if that already starts to feel like it's a lot on your hips, bring the feet in a little bit, a little less than 90 degrees, because 90 might be a whole lot for your hips today. So if you're going to be doing a lot of reps, or if you're going to add weight to this later, you don't want your joints in a compromised position. So find a way that feels delightful, and only stress and challenge what feels delight, especially today. Here we go. Down to the right, up, spiral to the left. One more, and we'll do the other side for 4. So now down to the left. So left hip goes back, belly goes to left thigh, head falls too. Push down into the left leg, spiral up. Don't overdo it. Imagine you were holding some weights. You want them straight up, maybe a little wide. Down to the left, up to the right. 2 more. And that is the movement pattern. We're going lightly today, looking for the delight in it. Now, if that felt really good, grab some dumbbells, grab a kettlebell, grab a pumpkin, get your dog, add some sort of weight, and do the same exact movements. It's a full body move. To go through it completely, it's a bend for your hamstrings, glute, and whole posterior chain, your back, your row, your shoulders, your lats. You come through a little bit of a row, a little bicep curl, a little shoulder press, tiny bit of pecs and chest. It's a very functional, super delightful, super useful movement in life. We're starting with a very serious baseline, and it feels delightful before loading it or intensifying it. And finally, even if you don't have weights, but you want to just move a little bit faster with it, as long as your whole body feels delightful with it, go ahead, add more speed, add more reps, set a timer, do it for a bunch of minutes, get a little bit of cardio in. Any questions, send me an email at alex@alexiglesia.com or comment somewhere around this video. Now that we've gone through movement and mobility and movement, let's go one more time back to the original movement pattern that brought us into the hexagram, which is gateway and sponge. We're going to do 3 times fluidly. Ready? Here we go. Gateway, sponge, gateway up, sponge in, gateway, and sponge. Let it all go. Shake your body out. This has been an epic workout for the 46 hexagram, gene key, and human design gate, and the themes of seriousness, delight, and ecstasy. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm here for you. And until then, thanks for being epic.